I've issued a series on medicinal and spiritual plants, including their use in Islam. This vlog is specific to those mentioned in Al-Qur'an. Those mentioned in Al-Qur'an can be found across a wide area of the tropics and subtropics, and not exclusive to the Arabian Peninsula. In common with my series of vlogs, Al-Qur'an also classifies these plants. Shajar, trees or plants. Balch, which is herbs, mentioned in 261. Shat or shoot, 4829. Suk, plant stem, 4829. Zar, seed. Fakir, al-tharami or thamarat, fruit. Islamic medicine integrates ancient Greek medicine, which first allied to the Islamic world through translation of the work of Hippocrates, Discordies and Galen, with the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad Hadith, referred to health, disease and medicinal treatment that became known as the medicine of the Prophet. Arabian physicians such as Al-Razi, Ibn Sina, Abi al-Qasim al-Zawawi, Ibn Rashid and Ibn Nafs further developed medicine as a scientific discipline in the Middle Ages. The Prophet Muhammad's words were collected and reviewed by Ibn Khaldun in the 14th century in a book called The Art and Craft of Medicine. For every disease there is a cure. If a medicine under the condition, it will be cured with the permission of Allah. And that's a hadith. Anabib, or inab, grapes vitis, is a fruit, botanically a berry, of the deciduous woody vines of the flowering plant genus Vitis. Grapes are non-climateric type of fruit, generally occurring in clusters. Grapes and grape seeds have shown abundant benefits in cardiovascular problems. Resveratrol, a non-flavonoid biomolecule, is found in significant quantities in red wine and has been reported to possess antioxidant and anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Additional to topical application of high resveratrol from grapeseed extract was shown to accelerate wound healing in mice, which is attributed to the modulation of the redox-sensitive process that drive demeral tissue repair. It has been proposed that alkaloids and terpenoids may provide astringent, antifungal or antimicrobial properties that may be of benefit to the progression of wound healing cascade. Anthocyanins, leucocanthocyanins and other profenols have been demonstrated to have significant antioxidant properties, which can also be of benefit in the progression of wound healing. Grapes are mentioned 4 times in Al-Qur'an. Mustard, Brassica, is one of several plants of the species of the genera Brassica. Rhamphocerum and Synapis in the family Brassicae, the mustard family. Mustard seed is used as a spice. Grinding and mixing the seed with water, vinegar or other liquids creates the yellow condiment known as prepared mustard. The seeds can also be pressed to make mustard oil, and the edible leaves can be eaten as mustard greens. Alquer gara or Yagarine Gourd, Cucurbitaceae, particularly Cucurbita and Lenganara, refers to a species and subspecies, many with hard shells, some without. Many gourds have large bulbous bodies and long necks, such as deeper gourds, many variations of bottle gourds and caveman club gourds. The fruit is traditionally used for cardioprotective, cardiotonic, general tonic and aphrodisiac properties. It's used for the treatment of various allergic and inflammatory disorders like bronchial asthma, rhinitis, bronchitis, rheumatism. Various extracts of fruits were found to have anti-inflammatory, analgesic, hyperprotective, anti-hyperlipidemic, diuretic and antibacterial activities. A methanol extract of the fruit was found to contain flavonoids, saponoids, tannins, carbohydrates and terpenoids. It is mentioned in Al-Qur'an 37:146. Ratha or Alth, Tamarisk, salt cedar, tara, is composed of 50 to 60 species of flowering plants in the Tamarisk, native to drier areas of Eurasia and Africa. In Al-Qur'an 34:16, the people of Saba were punished when Allah converted their 2 garden rows into gardens producing betel fruit and tamarisks. It's also known as the plant of Sheba. Basil, onion, allium, cepa is a vegetable that is most widely cultivated species of the genus Allium. Fresh onion juice is often recommended in folk medicine, a variety of countries for pain and swelling after bee and wasp stings, which are followed by an allergic-induced reaction of the skin. It's mentioned in 261 in Al-Qur'an. Adas or Adisha is lentil, Vicia lens. It's a legume. It's an annual plant grown for its lens-shaped edible seeds, also called lentils. It's about 40 centimetres tall, and seeds grow in pods, usually two seeds in each. Used as an astringent, constipating, diuretic, antibacterial, diarrhea, dysentery, tumours, used for skin disease and general debility. The low level of readily digestible starch, 5%, and high levels of slowly digestible starch make lens of potential value to people with diabetes. It's mentioned in 261 in Al-Qur'an. It is possible, however, that Al-Qur'an is actually referring to Alshmir, Fennel lens culinaris, a flowering plant in the carrot family. It's a hardy perennial herb with yellow flowers and feathery leaves. It's indigenous to the shores of the Mediterranean, but has become naturalised in many parts of the world, especially on dry soils near the sea coast and on riverbanks. Certainly it's mentioned in Al-Qur'an, Surat al-Baqarah, which is 261. Traditional use of fennel leaves include treating gout, gangrene, boils and sore throats. Nakhlat altma, Nakalin or Nachal, date palm, Phoenix disolifera, is a flowering plant species in the plant family of Ariaceae, cultivated for its edible sweet fruit called dates. They are mentioned 20 times in Al-Qur'an, including in 6:141, and is also mentioned is ajwa, a soft dry variety of date found from Saudi Arabia. It's an aphrodisiac, expectorant, febrifuge, purgative, cooling, diuretic, appetizing, digestive and intoxicating. It can also be found on gravestones. Kithatha, Kisa, Kiathatha or Kyrium, cucumber, cum sivastivus L, belongs to the Curbitaceae genus, cultivated throughout the tropical and subtropical countries of the world. In popular medicine, it's given as a sedative and diuretic, anti-rheumatic and somniferous, has tonifying action of the liver and kidneys. Its properties, which include tonifying hair, nails and skin, and anti-inflammatory of the eyes. It's mentioned in Al-Qur'an 261. The Rumman, Pomegranate, Punicea grantum, is a fruit-bearing deciduous shrub in the family of Lythraceae, family Punicoidae, that grows between 5 and 10 metres tall. A pomegranate is rich in symbolic and mythological associations in many cultures. Surah 55 of Al-Quran mentions the pomegranates as a flavour amongst many to be offered to those fearful of the Lord in 2 gardens. It's said to purge the body of jealousy and hatred. Pomegranate has hypertensive, antimicrobial and anti-cancer preventive activities. In particular, the peel of the extract of Pomegranatium has extensively been studied for its antioxidant activity, cyclotoxic activity, hypoglycemic activity, hepatoctoprotective activity, and anti-inflammatory activity. Punicigrantum is used as a parasitic agent, a blood tonic, and to heal aphthia, diarrhea, and ulcers. Thuban albatica or Karatha snake melon, Armenian cucumber, Cumis mellow flexus group or Cumis mellow variety flexusus, is a long type of long slender fruit which tastes like a cucumber and looks somewhat like a cucumber inside. It's actually a variety of true melon, C. mellow, a species closely related to the cucumber, C. sativus. Basalia or Fumia, garlic allium savitum, is a species of bulbous flowering plant in the genus Allium. Its close relatives include the onion, shallot, leek, chive, Welsh onion and Chinese onion. It's a native to Central Asia, South Asia and northeastern Iran. It's long been used as a seasoning and culinary ingredient worldwide, with a history of several thousand years of human consumption and use, including also the use as a traditional medicine. It's mentioned in 261 in Al-Quran. Garlic has a long history of a medicinal use for a wide variety of conditions and was once known as the poor man's treacle or cure-all. In folk medicine, garlic has been used to treat bronchitis and respiratory problems, and gastrointestinal problems, flatulence, leprosy, menstrual cramps, high blood pressure, diabetes, and has been used externally for warts, corns, arthritis, muscle pain, neuralgia and sciatica. Tin or teen, fig, Ficus caracia, a species of small shrub in the flowering plant family Moraceae, native to the Mediterranean region, together with Western and Southern Asia. It's been cultivated since ancient times and is now widely grown throughout the world. Surah 95 of Al-Quran is named Al-Tin, as it opens with the oath, by the fig and the olive. Wrongly attributed hadiths to Muhammad state figs are descended from paradise and that they cause hemorrhoids and are judged weak by specialists. They're used in different disorders such as gastrointestinal, colic, indigestion, loss of appetite, diarrhea, respiratory, sore throats, coughs and bronchial problems, inflammatory and cardiovascular disorders. Figs traditionally be used for medicinal benefits such as metabolic, cardiovascular, respiratory, antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory remedy. The root is a tonic used in lecodomia and ringworm. The fruit is sweet, antipyretic, tonic, purgative, useful in inflammation, weakness, paralysis, disease of the liver and spleen, pain in chest, curses piles, stimulate growth of hair. Zanjibal ginger, Zingiber officinal, is a flowering plant whose rhizome, ginger root or ginger, is widely used as a spice and as a folk medicine. It is a herbaceous perennial that grows annual pseudostems, false stems made of rolled bases of leaves, about 1 metre tall, bearing narrow leaf blades. The inflorescences bear flowers having pale yellow petals with purple edges and arise directly from the rhizomes on separate shoots. It has a long history of use in ailments such as nausea, respiratory disorders, cardiovascular health and rheumatic disorders. It has also been has immunomodulatory properties and is reported to inhibit various inflammatory mediators such as prostaglandins and pro-inflammatory cytokines. It's mentioned in Al-Quran 76:17-18. Zaitun or zatin, olive, Olea europea, is a species of small tree or shrub in the family Oliaceae, found traditionally in the Mediterranean basin, with wild subspecies found further afield in Africa and Western Asia. The olive tree and olive oil are mentioned several times in Al-Quran and is praised as a precious fruit. Olive tree and health benefits have been propounded in prophetic medicine. Muhammad is reported to have said, "Take oil of olive and massage with it. It is blessed, a blessed tree." Al-Quran 6:103. Olives are substitutes for dates if not available during Ramadan fasting, and the olive tree leaves are used as an incense in some Mediterranean Muslim countries. Other plants have more spiritual or allegorical explanations in Al-Quran. Acasia, or Talb Acacia, is a genus of around 184 species of shrubs and trees in the subfamily Mimosaidae of the pea family Fabaceae. Initially, it comprised a group of plant species native to Africa, South America and Australasia, but is now reserved for species mainly from Australia, with others from New Zealand, Southeast Asia and the Indian Ocean. There is also the Shaukat alajalam, the camel thorn, also known as giraffe thorn, Malacca tree, Wallacea eriloba. Its preferred habitat is the deep, dry, sandy soils in parts of South Africa, Botswana, the western areas of Zimbabwe and Namibia. It's also native to Angola, southwestern Mozambique, Zambia and Eswatini. It's used as a folk medicine, as a remedy for rheumatic pains, bilharzia, liver and urinary tract inflammations, and for various types of gastrointestinal discomforts. Recently, these plants are proved to have anti-diarrheal activity and to introduce relaxation of the smooth muscles of the anti-neuropathic effects. Its flowers are used to treat piles, migraines and warts. Oil from its leaves is used in the treatment of rheumatism. Locally, water extracted from its roots are used to enlarge the utera and to remove kidney stones. The whole plant is diuretic, expectorant and laxative. An oil from the leaves is used as the treatment of rheumatism. The flowers are used in the treatment of piles. It's mentioned in Al-Quran 257. Or possibly this is the Mwats thalin or thalb, Ethiopian banana or banana, is an elongated edible fruit, botanically a berry, produced by several kinds of large tree-like herbaceous flowering plants in the genus Musa. In some countries, cooking bananas are called plantains, distinguish them from the desert bananas, known as Walatab maladine when referring to a bunch. The banana may have been present in isolated locations elsewhere in the Middle East on the eve of Islam. The spread of Islam was followed by far-reaching diffusion. There are numerous references to it in Islamic texts, such as poems and hadiths, beginning in the 9th century. By the 10th century, the banana appeared in texts from Palestine and Egypt. From there, it diffused into North Africa and Muslim Iberia during the Arab agricultural revolution. An article on banana tree cultivation is included in Ibn al-Waman's 12th century agricultural book, Kitab al-Filala, a book on agriculture. It is mentioned in Al-Quran 56:29. During the Middle Ages, bananas from Granada were considered amongst the best in the Arab world. Henna or kaffir. Henna is a reddish dye prepared from the dried and powdered leaves of the henna tree. It has been used since at least ancient Egypt period as a hair and body dye, notably in the temporary body art of Mendi, resulting from the staining of the skin using dyes from the henna plant. After henna stains reach their peak colour, they hold for a few days, then gradually wear off by exfoliation, typically within 1 or 3 weeks. Maybe Al-Qur'an is referring to Camphor, Camphora officinarium, a species of evergreen tree indigenous to warm and temperate subtropical regions of East Asia, including countries such as China, Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea and Japan. It's known by various names, notably the camphor tree, camphor wood or camphor laurel. Camphor has been used for many centuries as culinary spice, a component of incense and as a medicine. It's also an insect repellent and a flea-killing substance. Alaras or Cedrus is a genus of the conifer trees in the plant family of Pinacea, subfamily Ambitiotea. They are native to the mountains of the western Himalayas and Siberian region, occurring at altitudes of between 1500 and 3,200 metres in the Himalayas and 1,000 metres to 2,200 metres in the Mediterranean. But more likely, Al-Qur'an is referring to Sidra al-Munata, Lote or Ziphus spinus Christi, due to its association with the crown of thorns. It's an evergreen tree or plant native to the Levant, East Africa and Mesopotamia. Fruit and leaves from the tree were used in preparing Egyptian foods, in cultural practices and skincare routines, especially with quassil powder derived from the Ziphus spina Christi tree leaves. It's known as the plant of Sheba. I've mentioned many times in my vlogs, and I use it extensively myself for the removal of spells and jinns. The leaves are astringent and febrifuge, also said to promote hair growth. The dried fruits are anodyne, anti-cancerous, pectoral, refrigerant, sedative, stomachache, septic and tonic. They're considered to purify the blood and aid digestion. They're used internally in the treatment of chronic fatigue, loss of appetite, diarrhea, anemia, irritability and hysteria. The seed is hypnotic, narcotic, sedative, stomach aches and tonic. It's used internally in the treatment of palpitations, insomnia, nervous exhaustion, night sweats and excessive perspiration. The root is used in the treatment of dyspepsia. A decotian of the root has been used in the treatment of fevers. The root is made into a powder and applied to old wounds and ulcers. The plant is a folk remedy for amnesia, hypertonia, nephritis and nervous disease. The fruits are applied on cuts and ulcers and employed in pulmonary ailments and fevers. The leaves are applied as poultices and are helpful in liver troubles, asthma and fever. Islamic theory is a large lot or Cedar tree that marks the uttermost boundaries of the seventh heaven, where the knowledge of the angels ends. During Isra and Miraj, Muhammad's physical journey from Masjid al-Haram to Al-Aqsa, and then from Masjid al-Aqsa, the ascension towards heavens and eventually meeting God. Muhammad is said to have travelled with the angel Jibril to the tree where Jibril stopped while. Beyond the tree, God instructed Muhammad that about Shalat, five daily prayers. The tree is also referred to in Surah 53, verse 14 to 16. Surat 34 verse 16 and Surat 56 verse 28. The prophet's heart did not doubt what he saw. How can you, O pagans, then dispute with him regarding what he saw? And certainly he saw the angel descend a second time at the Lote tree of the most extreme limit in the seventh heaven, near the garden of external residence. While the Lote tree was overwhelmed with heavenly splendours, the prophet's sight never wandered, nor did it overreach. He certainly saw some of the Lord's greatest signs. Surah 53 verses 11 to 18. Rehan, Basil, Ochium, Basilicum is a culinary herb of the family Lamicinae, mints. It's a tender plant and is used in cuisines worldwide. In Western cuisine, the general term basil refers to a variety known as Genovese basil or sweet basil. Basil is native to tropical regions of Central Africa to Southeast Asia. The Al-Qur'an is referring to Myrtle myrtus, a genus of flowering plants in the family Myrtaceae. It was first described by Swedish botanist Linnaeus in 1753. Myrtle, along with willow bark, occupies a minor place in the writings of Hippocrates, Pliny, Dioscorides, Galen, and Arabian writers. Sellers, for example, suggested that the soda in vinegar or laudanum in myrtle oil and wine could be used to treat various ailments of the scalp. It's possible that myrtle's effect was due to high levels of salicylic acid. In traditional Persian medicine, Myrtus communis, specifically the leaves, are used to stop bleeding. Sajarat Furshat al-Ashanan or Kamat, Toothbrush Tree, Salvadora persica, is a small evergreen tree native to the Middle East, Africa and India. Its sticks are traditionally used as a natural toothbrush called miswak and are mentioned by the World Health Organization for oral hygiene use. Several agents occurring in the bark and wood have been suggested as aids in prevention of dental cavities, such as antimicrobial agents that suppress bacterial growth and the formation of plaque. Zacum, tree of hell, Aelonathus alphacema. Could this be the commonly known tree of heaven, ghetto palm, Alithinus, varnish tree, copple tree, stinking sumac, Chinese sumac, paradise tree, or in Chinese, chotron, is a deciduous tree of the family Cimabonacea, or is the English name a modern nomenclature? Certainly across the Islamic world, local alternatives are found. It's native to northeast and central China and Taiwan. Unlike other members of the genus Elithonus, it is found in temperate climates and rather than the tropics. The tree grows rapidly and is capable of reaching 50 metres in 25 years, while the species rarely lives more than 50 years. Some specimens exceed 100 years of age. Its suckering ability allows the tree to clone itself indefinitely. Many plants are mentioned in Al-Qur'an. Some include Habadul Asaf, corn of the husk, Lena, tender palm tree, Raihan, rosemary scented plant, Orkum Kamt, bitter fruit or food of Sheba. The forbidden fruit of Adam, according to Al-Qur'an 7:19, describes Adam and his wife in paradise, where they may eat what is provided, except for one tree that they must not eat from, lest they be considered as zalimum, wrongdoers. Al-Quran 7:20-22 describes Shaitan, who whispers to Adam and his wife and deceives them. When they tasted the tree, their nakedness was exposed to them, prompting them to cover themselves with the leaves of paradise. Then the Lord carried out them. Did I not forbid you? Did I not tell you, that Satan is your sworn enemy? And that was Surah Al-Ashraf 7:22.